Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. So I got a short video for you today, but it's of a really cool fish that I've really fallen in love with that is actually fairly new to the hobby as well. And that is the Neon Red Rasbora, or the Sundadanio rubellus. Super awesome fish. We're going to learn all about it right now. The Neon Red Rasbora, and the first thing you're going to know is some of these, the top half of their body has that nice blue sheen. So there's not a lot of info on these, but from what I have researched, that tells me that they are male. So they should be sexual dimorphic. As you see, that one in the middle has no blue on it. The males should be the blue on the upper half there. So if that is correct, then they're easy to tell the sexes if you ever wanted to get a group to breed. Make sure you get a little of each. So these max out at about 0.75 inches, which should be right around a little under 20 millimeters if my math is correct. If it's not, then I'll just cut this out so I don't sound stupid. Also, quick note, lots of algae in this tank. I removed all the plants, killed all the algae, and now we have lots of residue left over. So just, try to look past that for now. We've got new plants on order. We're gonna plant this up and make it look nice, which these fish will absolutely love. They're definitely gonna feel a little more secure with all the plants in there, but as you can see, they're definitely not shy already. So since this is a newer fish, it was actually just recently described earlier this year. It's been around for a couple years, but it's now officially described as its own species, which is kind of neat. There were 6 other species of Rasboras described as well. So starting to get a little progress made in that realm. But since there's not a lot of info out there, we have to look at where these fish come from. So they're in the Kalimantan region of Borneo. When we start looking at the water there, we know that it's really heavy peat, very acidic. When I was looking online and looking at test results from the water, some of it's down into like the upper 3s as far as pH, and in other areas we're looking at about 6. So that being said, I'm going to tell you my water is 7 pH and very hard. So almost the exact opposite, and I haven't lost a single one. They're doing fine. I've had these for quite a while now, and they're doing just great. Food-wise, they go bonkers over frozen Daphnia, but not the most nutritious food out there. They will accept flake and pellets. They'll gnaw on pellets as they soften up over time in your tank. So very, very forgiving when it comes to food, very forgiving when it comes to water parameters. Just not a difficult fish to keep at all. Now, we know of the neon green rasboras, we know of the neon blue rasboras, and now we have the neon red. How does this fish stack up to the other? If you've ever kept either the blues or the greens, or both, you would know that the greens are far more of a hardier fish than the blues, right? The blues are really hard to get in good health. So I've brought them in many times from different places, and they're usually they got sunken bellies, they're super thin, they just don't look good. They're very shy fish. You need a large school of them to make them feel comfortable. Whereas the neon green and these guys are way more boisterous. You can see they're in here with some pretty large corridoras, some zodiac loaches. In this cave right here that we can't see in, there is a pair of apistos in there, and I'm pretty sure they're sitting on eggs. And they don't bother these fish at all. Obviously these are a nano fish, so you don't want to put them in with bigger cichlids or anything that can make a tasty treat out of them, because again, they only max out at about 3/4 of an inch. So keep that in mind when you're planning your tank mates, or if you already have tank mates, just something to keep in mind, folks. Now, one of the other great things about this fish, like most rasboras, they're pretty inexpensive, so getting a large school of them is pretty doable. It's not that hard. I think they're right around $5, maybe $6, so you can get yourself 8 of them or a dozen. I plan on getting a dozen more than I have, so I got a dozen. I started with a dozen. I'm gonna get a dozen more, and they're really gonna love this, especially when I get this thing planted up. It's just gonna be a really neat tank with some really cool newer fish. I'm super excited. I don't know what else to say about these fish other than go buy them because they're awesome. All right, folks, there you go, the Neon Red Rasbora. I hope you enjoyed it. I have fallen in love with this fish. I can't wait to get more. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, where can you get this fish? The only place I know of actually right now that has them in stock is the West Spot Tropical Fish, which I'll leave a link down below. Also, I happen to have a discount code there, Steenfott 10, get 10% off. You know how that works. Also, the typical like, comment, and subscribe. That really helps out the channel. We really appreciate it. And otherwise, that's all I got, and I'll see you next time.